Electrical charge is a fundamental property of subatomic particles,
mainly protons and electrons.
Don't forget about the neutrons.
Protons are positively charged, electrons are negatively charged, and neutrons are neutrally charged. The charge of an atom is determined by the amount of protons, electrons, and neutrons inside of the atom. If the atom has an imbalanced amount of protons, electrons, and neutrons, it is unbalanced, as you see in this diagram. If the atom has an equal amount of protons, electrons, and neutrons, the atom is balanced, as you see in this diagram. This may also be called neutral.
Charges are characteristic of subatomic particles. The amount of protons and electrons in one atom determine the charge. Charges are carried inside of the atom. Electricity is defined as the flow of electrons, aka the negatively charged subatomic particles. The law of charges states that opposites attract and likes repel. The Coulomb's law goes more in depth by describing the force pulling and pushing on the charges.
Sydney the science kid, Laura the expert, Sid.
Nalani the weather girl.
Electricity rules.
Laura the expert. Electric charge is a property of subatomic particles.
Sid.
Nalani the weather girl.
See you get to 8 times seconds. Sydney the science kid.
My phone just died.
Phones die because of an overload of electrical charge, aka using up the battery on your phone. Phones can regain their battery by plugging it in, aka regaining the battery on their phone.
Finally, your phone is charged.
Oh my god, why does your hair look like that?
Did you know that protons are positively charged and electrons are negatively charged? So in this case, your hair has a positive charge and this balloon has a negative charge. So that's why your hair looks like a hot mess.
Thanks, that means a lot.
You know.
I know, right? Ow! I shocked you. Did you know that atoms, which are basically the building blocks of matter, have an unbalanced amount of electrons and protons?
So basically what you're saying is when I rubbed my feet on the ground, I picked up an extra bunch of electrons, and when I touched you, you felt that swift rush of electrons.
So it's static electricity?
Yanni.
It's Laurel.
It's Yanni. It's obviously Yanni.
Laurel.
Oh my god, you always say the opposite of what I say.
Well, much like protons and electrons, opposites attract.
It's been repeated so much, it almost sounds like a cliche, but it's true. Opposites attract and likes repel. If you have one proton and another proton, they repel. If you have one electron and another electron, they also repel. But if you have a proton and an electron, then they attract. It's as simple as that.
Oh my god, did you see that lightning? I wonder how it works. Let's go see Nalani the weather woman to see how it works.
Hi, I'm Nalani Yule with the local weather report. Hurricane Lordy has been upgraded to Category 5. So since you all want to know how lightning works, and since you've seen a lot of it probably from the hurricane, I'll explain it. Lightning is an electrical current that forms in the cloud. Since the temperature is below freezing in the clouds, because of the elevation being so high, the ice collides with each other to form electrical charges. When the cloud has enough electrical charges, they expand, and then they form little sparks of light called electricity. Since the ground below the cloud is positively charged, it attracts with the opposite negatively charged cloud, and that's how lightning hits the ground. Try this at home. We're going to be making a helium atom model. What you're going to need is 4 medium-sized styrofoam balls, 2 small styrofoam balls like these, 3 different colored paints, preferably green, pink, and blue, a paintbrush, a cup of water, toothpicks, and shish kebab sticks. Okay, so take your pink paint, and this is going to represent protons, and proceed to paint 2 of the styrofoam balls, not the 4 of them. To use the green paint to represent neutrons. Going to need to paint is the small styrofoam balls. You're going to need to paint them blue to represent the electrons. This is my assistant Sydney. She will show you how to do the rest of the
Now that the project is drying, you could use a hair dryer, I have one right here, to make it dry faster. So I'm going to stick one of these into here and stick it pretty deep so that there's enough space to put the other one. And then put this one on also. Now I'm going to do that for these two also. After you connect them all together, it should look like this. Next, I'm just going to reinforce the connection with some Elmer's glue, just to make sure that it doesn't come apart. The thing that you're going to want to do is stick one of these sticks into the smaller. These are the electrons. I mentioned this in the beginning, but you will also need a few pipe cleaners and you will need to connect them. I connected about 3 together. The next thing you're going to do is connect them at both ends into a circle. What we're going to be doing with these is using things as the balance of this model. Just on the sides. And you're done.
This is an atom. It's made out of protons, electrons, and neutrons. Let's take a better look at it.
Cause baby, now we got electric charge. You know what it is about protons and also electrons, and it forms an atom. Hey, protons are positive, electrons are negative. They attract as opposites and repel as lights. Hey, did you know about this? Static electricity is lightning. If it comes striking down, it is because of the electrical current. Did it have to strike down? I'll pass the blame to the collision. The elevation in the air turns the vapor into ice. They hit each other so hard till it forms an electrical charge. Yeah, the ground below it is constantly charged and the lightning hit.
It's Yanny.
It's Laurel.
Yanny.
Laurel.
Oh my god, you always say the opposite of what I say.
Well, much like protons and electrons. Oh my god!
Assistant Sydney. She will show you how to do the rest of the model.
End it!
Charges are a characteristic of subatomic particles. Can you just wait, dude?